Living in a times in an era whereby fakeness is celebrated, but authenticity is shunned and frowned upon. It's so easy to utter words and do things that are wrong, and everybody celebrates, but you stand up and say, hey, this is wrong. Because 1,000 can do the wrong thing, but one person could be on the right path. It's like following the goat that leads the sheep to the slaughterhouse. Once the sheep are within the area where they now cannot, the enclosure they can't run away from, the goat runs away. And that's hardly is the life that you see. You see, it's important to know who you are, where you are, and identify and be self-aware. Yes, it doesn't matter the culture, the country, the nation, the upbringing that you are. At the end of the day, you end up with your own identity. You can be brought up in a life that is wealthy. But guess what? When you go to this hospital, you might end up being treated by someone who wasn't from a wealthy background. They have the skills, they have trained for whatever they are doing, but they're not from a wealthy background. You are now at their mercies. All your money is now flooded into the hospital and entrusting that medic, that nurse, that pharmacist will be able to give you the correct. But mind you, you are the person who've lived the life, you enjoy the life, you travel the world, you are their masses. Your so-called power and money means nothing at that point in time. All you want is your health. You see, you go to a doctor, you can say, oh, how much your body, you can give, you can idolize your body, but your doctor will humble you. They told you go do that stool test. Because if you don't do the stool test, how will they know what's affecting you? They will take blood so they can do the test so that they can confirm, is everything okay? It doesn't matter what complexion you have. It doesn't matter how many filters, how much you've messed up with your skin. They are going to humble you. If you go to that aeroplane, let's say you end up taking whichever class you choose. At the end of the day, all of you are within the same aeroplane. You have one exit. You might have your different areas where there's business, where there's economy. At the end of the day, you are all in this 10, 14-hour flight. It really doesn't matter when you're sitting in that chair or how rich, how powerful you are. No, life humbles you. You are there. And if something goes sideways, you are now at the mercies of the people around you. Let's say you go to a lift, just any normal lift. When you get to the lift, you may be the one wealthy, you may be the one from a well-up, you may be powerful, you may be wherever you are. But in that lift, something happens, electricity goes out, or something mechanical has an issue. You know what? All the people in that lift will have to rely on each other to be able to survive. When you look at your, when you have your money and power and so-called influence, when you get into that lift, you are the masses of the people in there. If something goes sideways, you trust in them. Let's say in a traffic jam, it doesn't matter which lane you're trying to use, which level, which class you believe you're in. Once the jam gets everyone on all the intersection, you're all going to get stuck. The rain will be heavy, the wind will be strong. What's gonna happen? You'll all have to rely on each other. No one will give a crap about who you are, your identity. No one will give a damn about how powerful you are. When there's a conflict or any issue that is going on in a country, nobody starts saying, you know, I am so and so, give me precedence into this. No one will give a crap about you. You will be humbled. So be humble before life humbles you. Because wherever place and stage and place you are in this life, life will teach you a lesson. It's so sad sometimes to see young couples wanting to build a life together. They met somewhere, wherever it may be, and now they want to come together. Then the parents or their families become a problem. And two couples who just wanted to be together, settle down and do things together, now they have to go through dowry processes, like see if they are registering for I don't know what. And eventually, this couple that would have enjoyed the split. They can split before, they can split after, because of the frustration, the pressure, because either the girl's family says, if you want my daughter, you have to bring ABCD, or the guy's family say, if you come into this family, you have to bring ABCD, and the two couple are thinking, hold up, when we met, why were you guys? Others may say because of a different race, our race will not be able to accept this, or we are different ethnicity or different community. But hold up, where were you when they met? Where were you when Cupid was throwing that arrow on? These two are like, I found my peace. I found my person. But see, this is how life is. And eventually, two things happen. Either they elope, or either they split, or either they realize it wasn't worth it in the end. Because in this life, They want the moment to complicate the simple things. You can't go back to it. It doesn't matter where you've grown up. Where you are, that's where you are at the time. Don't hate yourself. Don't harden your heart. Don't say because I grew up like this, I have to do like this. Yes, you grew up in an environment of crime. You don't need to be a criminal. You could be the one who stands up and say, yo, we don't want guns and knives around this block. Because it only happens when one person stands up. Yeah, they'll threaten you. Yeah, they'll even hurt you. But you can be the one to say, not on this block. And they'll respect you. Because in this life that we live, we can complicate things that don't need to be complicated. We can harden our hearts and think we are better, but we're not. Sometimes I look at all these issues of race wars or community wars or ethnicity wars. You know what fumbles me is one thing. When we use something like social media, from the owner to the consumers, are they of the same race or community or ethnicity? Let's go to a simple thing like an infrastructure or any development of an area. Is it that people, when they're developing or building or even hiring people from different, whether it's illegal or illegal immigration, whichever you look at it, the complexity that comes of multicultures to be able to put a structure, that in the structure not work eventually. Yet when they were doing, nobody said, tell me your religion, tell me your culture, tell me your tribe, tell me this, tell me that. No. People become humble and they work together because they have a common goal. So why all this hatred? Why all these things that we see, wars of generation? You see this generational war of the boomers to the millennials to the Gen Z to the Alpha. As a millennial, I can tell you for free what I've had to go through because of the wars of the boomers. I can tell you for free, it was too much. You do this, all you young people, you do this. And sadly, I've seen millennials then move the same hatred to the Gen Z and tell them, oh, you guys are like this. And I see the same Gen Z move the hatred to the generation Alpha, then like this. And I'm like, guys, take a chill pill, for crying out loud. You can all work together. There's so much uniqueness in culture. There's so many uniqueness. The boomer culture is a different culture. The millennial culture is a different culture. The Gen Z culture is a different culture. The generation Alpha is a different culture. And the other generations to come will be a different culture. So instead of fighting, why not appreciate the uniqueness? If one culture was suppressed, like the boomers and the millennials, and the Gen Z and Generation Alpha decide, no, we are not getting oppressed, we are going to speak our mind, appreciate that. Just because it didn't work out to you doesn't mean you should make other people feel like they have to carry a load, like they have to do things differently. If that's their culture, respect it. Here we have what we call the Nganya culture, or the transport culture. Is a graffiti on transport vehicles. You normally have two options. You can take the one with the graffiti and all the booming music, or you can take the one without. Nobody forced you. It's a choice. And I grew up in the Nganya culture. I grew up in that culture where we had that choice. And it's literally a choice. You can go the heavy music, you can go with no music. Nobody forces you. And whichever you choose, it has its own culture. We hate each other for what? For nothing. Politicians thrive on tribalism, thrive on ethnic violence, thrive on race wars. At the end of the day, you think Mr. Politician gives a damn about you? He or she will go and sit down and drink and sip whatever they want to sip on. And they will walk over you and leave you on your own. And when you need that matchbox, when you have an emergency, Mr. Politician ain't going to help you. It's the person on the left and on the right. So eventually ask yourself, why all this hatred? And the person on the left and on the right isn't your religion, isn't your culture, isn't your race, isn't ethnicity. They are just within the part of the community. There's so much good we can do if we just work and appreciate each other's uniqueness. If you don't understand someone's culture, respect it. And even try to make an effort to learn. So sometimes if you see someone who's disabled or who has special needs, you know what you can do? Instead of saying they look different, why about try to learn? If it's sign language, sign up for the classes. If it's something about there's a particular thing that they do that makes them unique, get to learn what happens to an autistic person. Get to learn what they go through. Get to learn what it means for someone to have issues with their skin issues. Get to know what they go through. Have that interest. Someone who's disabled, how do they feel? Get to understand how can you become the different one in the society. Because life will humble you. Because you may look at them and say, I'm not like them. Guess what? God can decide that the child you have will have all those issues. Then you're going to have to go through those classes and learn the hard way. You don't need to go down that. You don't need life to kick you for you to wake up. We can all get along if we want to. It's a choice. And once we unite and do something good, we become greater than the hatred and the weaknesses that have been planted for generations. Remember, it's a choice.